Around March 2021 is when I had my near-death experience. It was due to me questioning my belief system. I was questioning my belief system. I didn't believe in God, didn't believe in life after death, anything like that. So days before my experience, I was having two words pop into my head. What's next? And I didn't know what they meant, where they were coming from. I just know they were very powerful and there was meaning to it. I just didn't know what. And I was using a drug. To my knowledge, was ecstasy. And I had gotten COVID. So I started to isolate in a spare bedroom of my house. And because of the sickness and this drug, I found myself awake for roughly 5 to 6 days, and I hadn't had anything to eat or drink. And my body was beginning to die. My organs were failing, my brain was dying. And from what I can understand, in my body's weakened state, my soul was able to expand my consciousness. And me as my soul came out of my body. I could feel myself leave my body. And I'm sitting in the floor staring at the wall across from me. And as I feel my soul leaving my body, I turn and look. And I can see my soul floating in the air next to me. And it's this warm white light with a thin warm golden light around it. Almost see-through. And it's in the shape of almost a pine cone or an egg. And I didn't understand what was going on. And my soul helped put my physical body at ease. And what it did do was it formed my face on it. And my face that my soul reflected was smiling. The mouth never moved, but me as my soul was communicating with my body. Everything in my body was communicated directly to my brain so my body could understand what was happening. But I am also my soul looking into the eyes of my body. I can see through two different sets of eyes at the exact same time. I mean, it's weird how it works. But I'm looking through two different points of view at the same moment. And as my soul, I'm communicating with my body and telling my body that you need to get help. I need to help you. I want to help you. Talking to myself. And as my soul, I told my body I'll be right back. I'm going to get help. And as my soul, I remember looking up at the ceiling and flying straight through it. And I went up into space. And that's where I seen a round white light that was the same color as my soul, the warm white light with a thin warm golden light around it. And I knew that's where I needed to go. So I flew next to it, but it's weird how it worked. It wasn't really, I guess it was flying, but so I merged with this white light. And when I merged with it, everything went white. There was no edges, no corners, no anything. And the only emotion that I felt was the warmest, strongest love I'd ever felt. I mean, the way I put it is humans don't even have a way to describe it. It's that powerful. There's no way to describe it yet. And while standing in this light, I'm blinded by it. Standing in this light, these two words hit me. What's next? And I remember opening my eyes. And instead of a formless mass that I was before, this egg-shaped or pine cone-shaped, I now took the form of my body here on earth. Because it was, while this is happening, I am still my body sitting in this floor. I can still see through my eyes sitting in this floor. And I took the form of my body because it was going to be easier for my brain to comprehend what was about to happen. I was trying to not overload my brain with information to where I couldn't understand what was going on. So I took the form of my body here on earth. And I felt a presence walk up from the right side behind me. And I turned and looked, and it was a man wearing a cream-colored robe tied with rope, long white hair, and a long white beard with sandals on. And he was smiling the entire time. And he introduced himself to me, or should I say, reintroduced himself to me, as God the creator of all creation. And the love that he gave me and the love that I felt very unworthy at the time. I have done nothing with my life, but yet you're showering me with this much love. I don't even believe in you, but you believe in me. And yes, God still loved me and believed in me, even though I didn't believe in God. And so while we're in this light, God wanted to show me something. So we walked out of the light, side by side. That was a big thing that was emphasized in the near-death experience, is that we came out of the light the whole time side by side. There was no he's leading me or I'm leading him. It's side by side in unity together. And it was for, like, if I make a mistake, it's not I made the mistake and you're showing me how to avoid it. We make the mistake together. Or if I do something right, we do it together. It's unity. And as we walk out of this light, I remember there being a pillar. It was just a round pillar in space, because we're in space after coming out of this light. It's a round pillar, and it looked like it was wrapped in black river stones. And where the mortar would be in between the stones looked like magma. And I heard screaming coming from inside the pillar. So I was curious. I was very curious. And I remember, like, side-eyeing God. And the whole time we're still smiling, not talking, but we're communicating telepathically. I mean, it's instantaneously. There is no need for word. We're together, one. And I was curious to what was in this pillar. Why the screaming? And God told me to look. So I remember, whether I shrunk down or my vision did it, I can't really tell, but it was like a microscope, like zooming in. And I went into the mortar of this pillar. And this pillar's not very big, but when I went into the pillar, it opened up into like a world. And there's two cliffs on each side. On one side of the cliff, there's a man. On the other side of the cliff, there's a woman. And the man is sitting on his butt with his head down and he's rocking. And the woman has her head down and she's pacing back and forth. And I was curious, what is this? And what God told me is that was hell for them. That they were creating hell. There was something in that man's soul's life that he could not get past. So he was creating this hell to try to get past it. But until he could evolve from it, he had to relive it. And she was doing the same thing. There was something in her life that she just could not get past. So she was creating this hell for herself and reliving it to learn how to evolve from it, to forgive it, to move on from it. So in that sense, it kind of showed me that heaven and hell, as what religion teaches, is not what we've been told. That heaven and hell is what you create for yourself through your belief system, because humans are endowed with one of the most powerful tools imaginable, and that is free will. And now while this is happening, I got to explain time there for a second. Because time there operated completely different than how it does here. There was no time in that sense. Past, present, and future. It wasn't yesterday, today, and then tomorrow. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow are right now. They're in this moment. Every future, past, they exist right now. Every reality, they exist right now in this moment. There was no distinction between time. So while that's happening, I'm also showing why I had to have a death experience. And so I'm also my soul still in this room. And I'm also my body sitting in the floor. And I'm looking at my soul. I'm my soul looking at my body. And as my soul, I'm in two different places at the same time. I'm here in this room downloading this information into my body's brain so I can understand what's happening. But me as my soul also go into and what I called a mirrored earth. That's what I was shown. The exact same thing that's happening here is happening on this earth. But the only difference was here, because of the drugs, my organs are failing, my brain is dying, I had the near-death experience. This other reality, that wasn't going to happen. I had to have a death experience because of where my soul needed to go. This is your body, this is your soul. Right now they're one. When you have a near-death experience, picture a rubber band around them. When you have a near-death experience, you can only go so far before that rubber band, the tension on it, pulls your soul back. But with an actual death experience, you separate from physical form and you're allowed to connect to everything. Right then. All knowledge, you can connect to it right then. So when I went into that body, I was terrified to die. I didn't believe in this. I didn't believe in life after death. I didn't believe in God. But I was shown that that body's sole purpose was to die from an aneurysm. I even got to see the placement of it in the brain. It was in the right side of my brain, and I was told that the aneurysm had to burst to kill my body for me to completely detach from a physical form on earth. And I was terrified. By this point, I am crying hysterically because I am so afraid to die. And while crying hysterically, this peace just showered over me like a waterfall. And all fear went away. I was no longer afraid to die. No longer afraid to die. I even became grateful for my death. As weird as that sounds, I was happy that I was going to get to experience death. I was grateful for it. Thank you. Thank you for letting me experience this. And I had to say two words. I'm ready. And as soon as I said those words, the aneurysm burst. I could feel it spread in my brain. I could even hear bubbles from it. And as my soul, I instantly came out of that body. And I got to see the body before it happened, while it happened, all the way until that body was unseen. In that reality, that body was buried in a graveyard. And I got to experience this. I got to watch it happen. But I didn't only get to experience it from that aspect. Everybody that I had contact with, I got to go into them. I got to feel their emotions. It was a major thing. Emotion during all this was a key point, was to learn the emotion that you feel in this moment. Because the emotion that you feel in this moment can have very good outcomes, but it can have very bad outcomes also. So I got to feel everybody's emotions, even up to what they were thinking about me, or about finding out, or memories of me. And after that happened, I was able to detach from a physical form on earth. Me and God are on this balcony. We're looking down at the earth, and I'm seeing my life. And I didn't get a life review. I didn't see pets. I didn't see relatives. The only entity that I encountered during my near-death experience was God. That was it. And I'm looking back at my life and seeing the mistakes that I've made. But I'm also seeing the good things that I've done as well. And some are told they have to go back, but most don't want to go back. I came to a mutual agreement with God that I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back from a non-believer standpoint. Don't believe in you. I'm going to go back to tell people about you. Because you are real and you do exist. And the love that you gave me, somebody like me who didn't believe in you, who cursed you, you give me this beautiful life. You gave me this grand experience. I'm going to go back and tell a story about you. And that's what I chose to do. And when I came back here, I'm in my body and I'm still trying to recover from all this. I see an entity standing in the doorway. And it was like a ghost. But when people describe a reptilian lizard, that's what this looked like. It looked like a reptilian lizard, had a male presence, and he was standing in the doorway with his arms pointed out towards me. And I could see him, but I could also see right through him. And I found out that he is a projected consciousness, what we call remote viewing or astral projection. That's what they do. They're not only here in physical form, because they are here in physical form, but they can project consciousness beyond space and time. They have advanced that far. And I seen him, and I'm wondering, what is he doing? And it's almost as if God was giving me a script, like a walkthrough of what this entity was doing. And what they do is they want God's power. They can't have God's power. So they use his creation against God. They give you a seed. They plant this ideal in your head that is negative. Well, it's just like any other seed. If you water it, you take care of it, it becomes a creation. So that seed they plant in your mind, if you act on it using your free will, you're creating a reality in their image that is negative. They're using your free will against you and God. And not only that, but since your soul is pure positive power, they feed off of it. It gives them power. That's what they want. And after seeing that, by this point I get up and I tell them it's not going to work anymore. And I came outside, and that's where I see it looked like a shard of glass in the air. Needle thin, slightly angled, slowly rotating, and it looked like there was a rainbow in it. It was barely off the ground and anywhere from 20 to 30 foot tall. And that's where I seen 3 other entities come out of that shard of light. And these looked like little gray aliens. And they had on some kind of uniform, like a Star Trek skin-tight uniform. And they were not speaking with their mouths, but they were speaking to each other telepathically. But I heard them in English, but I know that they were not speaking English. And when I seen them, it's almost like one of them that I first seen knew that I could see them. He looked directly at me, eye to eye, and said, he can see us. And the other 2 looked at me, and he can see us. And they went back into that shard. But it's almost like wherever they were going, they were telling other ones, because now I've noticed at least 2 more shards, one down the street and one all the way at the corner. And anywhere from 2 to 3 more of these entities would come out of these shards and look directly at me. They knew exactly where I was. Even as far away as they were, I could tell they were looking directly at me. And they would come out of that shard. Oh, he can see us telepathically, and go back into that shard. But I can't tell you what language they were speaking, but I heard them in English. And I know they were not speaking English. How that works, I cannot tell you. But that was the near-death experience part. I don't want to bring up religion, but one of the most powerful figures in our history was Jesus. And Jesus wasn't trying to get you to follow him. He was trying to relay a message. Love God, love your neighbor. Treat your neighbor as if you want to be treated. And that's what we need to do, because that's how our soul evolves. You may be going through bad things, but I promise you there's a reason why you're going through it. You have to go through these things to evolve. Spiritually, physically, mentally, everything. We have to experience both good and bad, both light and dark, because we can't only experience the light and evolve. What about this dark place? Well, question that, because you can still see that. So we have to experience these things to understand them, to feel them, to evolve from them, to grow from them. So, but the main key is, no matter what you're experiencing, who you come in contact with, what their belief system is, show them kindness, show them love. Because I was shown something about, I wasn't shown there's just one devil and demons. I was shown there is many devils, many. And God told me a way to defeat the devil. And it's not with hatred or get behind me, Satan. It's not that. If I come face to face with the devil, I am supposed to walk up to him, tell him I love him, give him a hug, and tell him, you have been hateful for so long. You have been negative for so long. It's time for you to feel God's love. And that's how we defeat it, with love.